Picture an island where time stands still, with plants from another planet and landscapes so strange, you might think you've landed on an alien world. This is Socotra, part of Yemen, sitting in the Arabian Sea. The island's long isolation has led to unique plants and animals. 1/3 of the plant life here exists nowhere else on Earth. The land is dry and rocky, dotted with the strangest trees you've ever seen. These are the famous dragon's blood trees, with thick trunks and branches like upside-down umbrellas. The whole island feels like it's from another time, with deep caves, tall cliffs and long beaches. The water around the island is crystal clear, and the air is filled with the calls of unique birds. It's a place that makes you feel like an explorer even today. Let's talk about the dragon's blood trees, named for the dark red sap that oozes out if you cut the bark. The sap looks like blood and has been used for centuries as medicine and dye. These trees can live for hundreds of years, growing slowly and steadily. But the dragon's blood tree isn't the only odd plant on Socotra. There's also the desert rose, which looks more like a big turnip than a rose, with a thick trunk and delicate pink flowers. The cucumber tree has a fat trunk that stores water, helping it survive the dry seasons. The landscape around these plants is just as strange, with white smooth sand that looks like snow and rocks balanced in impossible ways. The beaches have fine white sand that squeaks under your feet. At night, the stars come out in their millions, with so little light pollution that you can see the Milky Way clearly. This mix of strange plants, unusual landscapes, and pristine skies makes Socotra truly feel like another world. Getting to Socotra is an adventure in itself. The island is remote and doesn't see many visitors, keeping it pristine and unspoiled. To get there, you first need to fly to Yemen, then take a small plane to Socotra's tiny airport. Once you land, you're in for a surprise. Socotra doesn't have many roads. Most of the island is wild and untamed, so you'll need a four-wheel drive vehicle and a local guide. The guide is important, as they know the island well and can take you to places you'd never find on your own. The journey around Socotra can be bumpy, but every bump is worth it. Around each corner there's something new to see, from rare birds to hidden beaches. The landscape changes quickly, from desert to lush valley. As you travel, you'll meet the people of Socotra, known for their hospitality and unique culture. Many still live traditional lives, herding goats and fishing. Staying with local families is a great way to learn about life on this extraordinary island. What can you expect on Socotra? Let's start with the beaches. Qalansia Beach with white sand and turquoise waters is stunning. Swim, snorkel, or relax, and you might spot dolphins. Then there's Hawk Cave, one of the biggest on the island. A 1-hour hike leads to stunning stalactites and ancient inscriptions. For adventure, head to Dixon Plateau, home to dragon's blood trees. The plateau offers incredible island views. Don't miss Detwa Lagoon, where the desert meets the sea. At sunset, the lagoon becomes a golden mirror, a magical sight. Socotra is home to many rare plants and animals. Let's start with the birds, like the Socotra starling with glossy blue-black feathers, and the Socotra bunting, a small brown bird with a lovely song. These birds have adapted to life on Socotra over thousands of years. The island also has some unusual reptiles like the Socotra chameleon, which can change color to match its surroundings. There's also the Socotran ground gecko, a little lizard with big eyes and speckled skin. In the waters around Socotra, there's a whole other world to explore. The coral reefs are home to hundreds of fish species, some found nowhere else. There are colorful parrotfish, graceful rays, and even the occasional whale shark. The reefs themselves are like underwater forests, full of bright corals and swaying sea fans. Snorkeling here is like swimming in a rainbow. The plants here are just as unique, like the Socotra fig, which grows in the most unlikely places, often straight out of bare rock. Then there's the Saqatran pomegranate, which isn't like any pomegranate you've seen before. As our journey through Socotra comes to an end, it's clear why this island captures the imagination. It's a place that seems to exist outside of time, where you can walk among plants that look like they belong in a science fiction movie. You can swim in seas that are as clear as glass and meet people whose way of life has changed little for centuries. Socotra reminds us of the wonders our planet holds, and shows us that there are still places on Earth that can surprise and amaze us. The island is like a living museum of natural history, giving us a glimpse of what the world might have looked like millions of years ago. But Socotra is also fragile, with climate change and human activity threatening its unique ecosystem. That's why it's so important to visit responsibly. When you go to Socotra, you're not just a tourist, you're a guardian of one of the world's most special places. Every visitor has a role to play in preserving this island for future generations. So, if you're looking for an adventure like no other, consider Socotra. It's not an easy place to get to, and it's not always a comfortable place to be. But it's a place that will change how you see the world, showing you that our planet is stranger, more beautiful, and more precious than you ever imagined. Socotra is more than just an island. It's a reminder of the magic that still exists in the world.